Throughout all of human history, the opinions of the few influence the lives of the many. Whatever the time period, the popular crowd of the day decides what is acceptable and what is not. So many people change all aspects of their lives just to fit in, and they never realize the magnitude of the sacrifice they make. Jay Gatsby is one such person. He based his entire lifestyle on impressing others. He changed his appearance and the way he talked, built a huge house, drove a lavish yellow car, and threw outlandish parties all summer long. Gatsby's only concern in life was to impress strangers so that he may win Daisy's heart. In the end, Gatsby's only real friend was Nick, and even that friendship wasn't very strong. If a man gives up his true self to impress someone else, he will share a fate similar to Gatsby's. Though he may attain popularity or influence for a short time, eventually the social norm will change, leaving the man stuck as a skewed version of what he would be if he followed his own ideas rather than other people's. The characters in Ernest Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises also fall victim to the desire of social acceptance. Every man in the book wanted to win over Brett, and to do that they tried their hardest to change themselves to seem manly. Robert Cohn took up boxing and was always looking for a fight. The Count flaunted money, while Mike bragged of being bankrupt. All of them drank profusely, most were in the war, and all but Cohn enjoyed the bullfights. In addition, they were constantly mean to each other. Yet, with all these changes, Brett still never stayed with any of them very long. The men built up their appearances to fit in with society, only to be rejected and left with a rotten attitude towards life and each other. In A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khalid Hosseini, Jalil doesn't hurt himself by obeying the social rules, he hurts his daughter as well. Jalil couldn't stand the shame of being the father of a harami so much that he deserted Mariam. He chose to maintain his dignity in the eyes of the townspeople instead of maintaining his relationship with Mariam. Later, Jalil would regret his choices, and when he asked for Mariam's forgiveness, she denied it to him. Jalil died full of regrets, all because he succumbed to the social pressure as a young man. When people choose to follow the socially accepted path over their heart, one day they will regret it, and by then, it could very well be too late. I too fell into the social acceptance trap. In middle school, I had a difficult time trying to find myself. I was always worried about what others thought of me. I said things I never would have before just to impress the widely liked strangers. I stayed quiet and hid behind long hair and polos. I didn't wave or smile at people who were kind to me. I wasn't nice to people who needed it, and it tore me apart. I became afraid of interactions. I feared public speaking and felt uncomfortable talking to those who weren't my close friends, all from worrying myself about what others thought. That became a part of me for a while until I figured out the truth, which is best described in the Dr. Seuss quote, "Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind." I know it's cheesy, but it helped me a lot. The truth is, those who mind really don't matter. If someone wants you to change yourself in order to be accepted by them, it isn't worth it. One of the best real-life examples of this philosophy is in Into the Wild. Chris McCandless, unlike almost every other person in the whole world, did not fall victim to society's wants from him. He left everything he had to pursue a free life that he wanted to live. Although he made unnecessary risks, he lived with no regrets about how he behaved. He was nice to everyone, and practically all that knew Chris liked him. Chris had the right idea of how to deal with the social pressure. Ignore it. In the long run, good rarely comes from doing what the masses would have you do. If everyone followed their own thoughts and dreams, the world would be filled with happy people aimed at encouraging rather than discouraging. Eventually, I changed myself for the better. I am much more confident in myself and a whole lot friendlier too. I embrace myself in the fullest. I do whatever I want and say whatever I feel. The masses aren't as cool as they seem anyway.